Hej! This is the Lafo Integration genom kultur podcast. These 3 episodes is going to be a dialogue between 2 folk musicians, Kenneth Nordman and Francis Oyeyiola. Kenneth is from Czech, Finland, and Francis is from Ghana, West Africa, and as podcast hosts, me, Lukas Djupsjöbacka. We're discussing differences and similarities between folk music from South Österbotten and West Africa. This project is financed by Österbotten and Svenska Kulturfonden. Here's the second episode. Do you hear like a difference in the Czech folk musician groups if you compare it to say Jeppo?
Absolutely.
I mean, if you play like a waltz or something like long, short, short, long, short, is it the difference between the length of the notes or what can you?
Well, the style of playing is different. I think a waltz might not be the best example for recognizing. I would probably be more sure if it was like a polska or maybe minuet, but I think polskas are quite a good telltale for if you're in the southern part of Österbotten or in the northern part.
Okay.
And like a general style of playing in Jeppo, you have I think they like to play tunes fast, and they have a lot of the right arm on the violin goes like really heavily up and down, like not so much legato. It's like really fierce playing and fast, and so it's like
definitely to influence what comes out.
And if you compare that to, it's a little more flowing in the southern parts of Österbotten, like big generalization, but I mean you can hear from different regions. How they
well, for
play.
me, I think listening to is kind of course, if let's just take the coast, or it feels like the fundamental are the same, but as you move, it changes.
Yeah.
And I think it has similar to every culture. The thing is, for instance, in Ghana, because we are made up of different tribes, and each has its own unique. For instance, in Finland, you have municipalities. In Ghana, we have region, and each region has its own unique style of music. And in Ghana, we have 12 regions, so that tells you that we have 12 unique style of music, but within that 12 there are different variation. So one region have one song, but then when you go inside you find out that they have various we are from the Greater Accra. We are one region, but then when you move along the coast, you can see the variation changes, and it's the same thing even with the language. Even the language base is the same, but intonation on how you say something changes. So it's the same thing. I mean, for instance, you have let's say Swedish in Christina Southern, Swedish in Norrpes, and then you go
different
a bit
dialects.
Yes, it becomes dialect. It changes. So it's the same kind of with the music. We also have the same, but then there's unique. This instrument is unique to my tribe, and other tribes they have it differently. But now,
but how is the when we're talking about this now, I just realized it's kind of a shame, because young people growing up now, some of them get into traditional music, but I mean it's really not that many, and many of them has probably never listened anything to traditional music. So like today, when the music they listen to are what comes from the radio.
Mm-mm.
So you kind of erase the actual identity of the music from your region and the style of playing that's back in the day when you didn't have the radio and you kind of developed these significant differences between the different regions.
To be honest, actually, when I was standing here,
Yeah.
looking at your colleagues and friends, that is what came to my mind.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking that this beautiful art, if we lose these people, it's definitely going to die with them.
Yeah.
And that's really painful.
Yeah.
And
But for us, it's actually the opposite. And the reason is just this. Because nowadays, in Europe, there's a lot of festivals. And not only in Europe, all over the world. And a lot of this festival needs traditional music, something unique.
Yeah.
So it has become a whole new industry in Ghana. Meaning that a lot of young people are actually going into this. Because they travel abroad, they get the opportunity to leave the country to visit elsewhere and at the same time make money out of it.
Yeah.
It's a huge industry now in Ghana. If you go in Ghana now, you have people, they have different groups, and then they have some sort of a manager that kind of, actually our association too, we have one group also in Ghana, and they actually travel. Some of you, I talk to them, we are making visa, we are going to Israel, we have this show in even our neighboring country, Togo, Benin, Nigeria, they even travel there to make show.
Yeah.
So our is kind of completely different. And then we've tried to push like these young kids, 12, 13, 14, after school in the evening. This is their curriculum activities. In Finland, they go to art school and stuff. But in Ghana, they are kind of, the adults push them in.
Yeah.
So they becomes like a profession, a trade that they learn. That when they grow up, they are independent. And it would be nice for me when I see them. It would be nice to have maybe a 13-year-old or a 15-year-old dancing with them like this.
Yeah.
Meaning that then they are able to transfer the craft to them.
I think it's in some regions here they have succeeded in getting well, maybe not a lot, but some young kids. And I think in the southern parts of Swedish-speaking Finland, you have some folk dancers that dance the traditional dances and quite young. But I think here in southern Österbotten, the folk dancing is at the moment quite non-existent. And that's, I mean, from when I grew up, when I went to the, like, I think I started in the first grade, or not, maybe not in the first grade, in the second grade, and I think everybody, with the exception of one in my class, went to dance the folk dance. So it was like, that was the normal thing to do. You know, once a week you had you went there, and you had so many, you had to like divide them into different groups, like the real small ones and the little bit.
I would really love to see that back again, you know, to make folk music cool again.
Yeah.
I really, to be honest, because I feel like this is kind of a craft and a tradition that, you know, we shouldn't forget about it. We should find a way to have a continuation.
But what I think is good, because some young people that get interested, they are like really interested. They get really into it, and they want to learn. They want to do like the really traditional stuff.
Have you any clues how to get more interested in the?
I'm kind of involved in that because I'm in the, what's it called in English, the board, styrelse. Spelmansförbundets styrelse.
Okay,
I'm in there. So we try to have like courses for kids, and sometimes you get getting going with like 7, 8, maybe 10 if you're lucky. But then we've had a couple of tries where maybe 2 or 3, and that's you can't. It's too expensive you have to have more. Yeah, you can't do the course with like 2 people. So
how's it, Francis, in Ghana with that? How when do you start playing, and like you just teach each other to play from your from dad and granddad? And
well, the thing is, traditionally folk music, based on the instrument, is a family tradition. So for instance, if your dad is a drummer, then definitely the sons will be a drummer. It becomes like a family tradition. That there are some families, for instance, because I'm kind of more fascinated with the Nigerian style. There are some families that when they just mention the name,
what is meant to play. Yeah.
Just the name of the family name is that okay, this is the family of drums.
Yeah.
And it is passed on it's a craft that is passed on from generation to generation.
That's really cool.
This is why I kind of sometimes I say, because my dad is from Nigeria. I was born in Ghana. When I look at the two culture, I'm more drawn to the Nigerian because it's so rich and dense that looking at it, you kind of feel like, wow, there's word for everything. There's a way. It's kind of like the language, it's living. So for them too, they have this talking drum and stuff, and each family has its own unique style of playing, and they make them, so that okay, this instrument is from this family. So usually when they have a big occasion, so it's like families coming together. So you have this family that play this instrument, this family that plays it, and then they all come together. So it becomes a very huge celebration. But in Ghana, that. In my tribe, we don't have it like that. But I know in other tribe they might. But in my tribe, they don't have it like it. I remember when my dad heard that, he heard me that I was playing drums. He said, "What the heck? What are you doing? We don't do that."
No.
The last time I checked, no one played musical instrument. So sometimes things like that, if you are not strong enough, it can actually discourage you, and then you stop.
Yeah.
And it's happened a lot in Africa. That because we don't do this, our family, we are not into this, so you have to stop.
Yeah, I think that there's a good side and a bad side of course.
Yeah. Hey, we don't do this, so hey, we don't play this instrument, so you don't have to go and learn maybe mason or blacksmith. That is what we do. So you should go and do that. And this is something I'm hoping that going forward, we need to have parents in Africa needs to start changing their mind that the kids doesn't necessarily have to do what you want. It's about the kid. So your responsibility as a parent is to nurture whatever talent that kid has. When my dad told me many times, but you get to a point, it's kind of reading, and I said, no, it's something I loved. I'm not listening to him anymore. But I want to do it. Then I started reading, listening, studying, looking at different way of, approaching the same thing. And then I realized, okay, it makes me happy, and I can see that it also makes people happy. So I think I'm on the right track. I don't care what you think.
Francis, you talked about if you play fast happy and fast sad. The like music.
Music.
And that's in the different venues, so to speak, like
scenarios.
Can you talk a little bit about that, because that was interesting? I haven't heard anything like that before. Like
fast happy and fast sad, and then low happy and low sad. There's nothing like in the middle. In most culture, when the song is very, very low, the tempo is very low, it's often sad, like funeral and stuff. But in Ghana, we have it that, especially in my tribe, they split it into two. So you can have low sad and low happy. And then the low happy side is usually like what the new genre that is quite popular is called this high life. So that's kind of music. It's very low, but then because of this instrument, it changes the way you feel about the music. It's actually based on the instrument. If you use these ones or any kind of percussion to the low, it changes the way you feel. So usually I remember my dad, I see a lot of his picture and back in the 60s, and they usually play this, they like this low happy, meaning that when you are dancing, because they are beats, it was like a lifestyle. It was, for instance, in the US when this twist and all this kind of that was fast but happy. It was happy fast. We had the opposite. There back then, those age group, it was kind of like a lifestyle. You don't move, you kind of move slowly like this, and then you have your drink in your hand, and then you sip. It was a whole lifestyle. That was a whole new culture, and that was very low. It wasn't really dancing, but you kind of move. So even though you don't know how to dance, you don't need to. You can just be on there and just move the.
It was like opposite to the rock and roll
It
when
was,
they came.
exactly.
When they came
so
up.
they had the beat this slow, so they call it high life, and most of the songs usually is kind of like a story. There's always a message behind it. So you cannot dance fast and then listen to the words. So they have to kind of slow and listen to what is the message in a song. But then on the other low part is that, for instance, in a funeral or something, they also played the same, very low, but then it goes to the sad side. That people are very sitting. When in Ghana, when you see somebody in Ghana that sit like this, it means there's a problem. It's negative. Just the body language like this. It means it's sad. So the song is kind of very melancholy.
Oh, now you're sad.
It's very melancholy and kind of. So that is also the low. And then when you go to up, it's the same to also divided into two. That you have very fast, but then happy, and also very fast to celebrate. It's actually sad, but it's a celebration of life. Like I was telling you that in Ghana is known for the way we handle funeral. If you go to a funeral in Ghana, you think maybe someone won lottery.
Okay. Yeah, you celebrate.
Yes.
Like,
Ghana is people travel all the way to come to Ghana to look at it, even to make documentary.
The funeral.
The funeral. I can't tell you how much. And because of that, we ended up coming to. For instance, if I have like this drum, if I place this drum, when I die, they will make a casket that looks like this. They will make a casket like this, so they will put me in, and people will carry it, and then they will walk all the whole town before they go and bury him. So even though it's sad, but it's fast, but still, people are still celebrating that, hey, this is what he's done, this is who he is, this is what he represented before he passed away. But in other cultures, it's kind of, you don't say anything. Let's just be quiet. It's a sad moment. We don't want to talk about it. It's a sad, this parent or family are sad. Let's just bury and then we... In Ghana, it's the opposite.
So that's when you use the fast, sad.
The fast, sad, yeah.
And then if...
Like wedding, party, and then you can also have the fast, happy. Both sound are actually a bit different. That when you hear it, you know that, okay. So this tune are actually, even the tempo is high, but the tune, the way it is, tells you that, okay, this is something.
What about the connection in Ghana between religion and traditional music?
I think.
What's the? You have many religions in Ghana.
Mostly we have mostly three. So we have the tradition, which is all these tradition like the Old Testament, that killing of animals to worship and all those things. And then you have Christianity, and then you have the Muslim. So these are the three core traditions we have in Ghana. We don't have this Buddhism, no. We don't have Jewish, this Sabbath, no. We don't have any of that. We only have these three. Among these three, only the traditional religion is connected to this.
I can imagine.
Yes, the other two is not.
Yeah.
The other two is not.
Yeah, because here also the relationship between, like, because here Christianity is like the main.
Yeah.
I think between the church and like the traditional folk music, there's always been like tension. Yes. It hasn't been like that okay before, at least. I mean, if you go back, it would probably, and I still maybe think today, it's not that okay to go and play like fast polska in the church.
No.
Or maybe it is today. I think it's kind of loosened up.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can absolutely play.
But still
you can play folk music in the church. But I think you choose almost automatically. You choose like minuets and a little slower.
That's what I wanted to say. Based on my experience so far, it's mostly minuet, a bit melancholy, a bit low, a bit. That's usually what you see in the churches.
But I mean that there was. You don't have to go back that far in time. That would be completely unheard of to go and play like folk music in the church.
No. For us too, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Hardly you see kind of like this. No. It never.
Yeah.
But with the traditional, the actually tradition, they use this a lot.
Yeah. But I think it also goes back. I mean, in the 1800s, when you played music, you have these get-togethers. They used to here they called upsito. It was when you sit up all the night and you like play games and you do a lot of dancing and like here you danced really almost exclusively minuets here in an upsito. And of course when you had this there was also a lot of drinking, of course.
It is also the same.
Yeah.
A lot of drinking.
And then you can imagine the church trying to, like, that's not that's bad.
I think that's where the whole thing started from.
Well, thank you, Kenneth. Thank you, Francis.
Thank you.